Delta.
See, it's hard for me to even look at those pictures and then begin to. You too? Come on now, Madam President. We cannot do this. We have to get through this. The nation's largest African-American women's organization is celebrating in a huge way starting today. About 70,000, it's estimated about 70,000 college-educated women who are a part of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority are expected to be in the district to help celebrate the inception of the sorority. Here to tell us more about it and the history and the events taking place is the 24th National President of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority, Cynthia Butler McIntyre. Good morning, Madam
Good morning.
President.
Good morning.
How are we going to do this?
I don't know. I don't know if we're going to make it through, but we will. We will.
Because you know how Delta women do. So let's bring it up and let's talk about this.
Here we go.
So, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, what a wonderful time in the sorority's history. 100 years.
Yes.
Can you tell us about it while I compose myself?
Okay, I'll try, and then we'll take turns.
All right.
This is a great time in the history of Delta Sigma Theta to reach the mark of 100 years, to look back and see where we have come from our beginnings on the campus of Howard University with the 22 founders, now with the hundreds of thousands of women who have become members of our great sisterhood. And now we celebrate 100 years and the work that we have done in the world and abroad to make a difference and to change the course of life for others and for ourselves as we make an impact.
It's wonderful that you say that because it leads me right into the bigger question that is, when you think sorority, the image that pops into your mind, party and college life, there's some of that. But when you decide and then go through with, be accepted into the sisterhood, there's a bigger challenge that you face and a bigger obligation. Can you tell us about what it's really about?
Well, I think it goes back to what our founders envisioned when the sorority was founded. One of the major reasons for founding Delta Sigma Theta was to de-emphasize the social side of sorority life. And I often say it was not to eliminate the social side, it was to de-emphasize. I think their mission was to bring to focus the social activism part of what sorority life should be about. It was more than just the good times and the party and even the fellowship and the sisterhood that comes from being a part of a sorority, but more about the call to serve, which is what Delta Sigma Theta is all about. And that was very evident in what the founders brought about in coming together as a group of 22 college students right here in 1913, when others were about organizing to socialize and to bring more about the inward of being college students. Our founders went out and did outward work, outreach work, which was different, especially at that time.
And especially at that time, and one of the first things as an organized group is we're looking at this picture, and it's celebrating when there was a women's suffrage movement. These young women decided that they were going to be involved in this. Quite different from anything, and it's hard to imagine these young African-American women, college women, there with the masses trying to join with other women, white women in this country at that time, and starting that sisterhood. It's extremely powerful.
And I often use that first act of our founders as a message to all of us who are members of this organization. I just believe the founders were sending us a message for years to come. Right now, for 100 years to come, when the question would be asked, why do we need a Delta Sigma Theta? And they wanted us to know that by their very first act, this is what sets us apart. We will not be your everyday, ordinary sorority. We will be the ones who will step forth and step out and do things that will be a little different. And their difference was to send us a message is that you must do things that are a little different. And so their difference was to come out of Howard's campus, their comfort of Howard's campus, and step in.
In 1913, so remember what we're talking about.
And the Women's Suffrage March. The only African-American women in the march at that time. So that's why in 2013, we retraced their steps. We marched in March of this year to retrace their steps, to show the world that we are still fighting for some of the voting rights. Needless to say, here we are in 2013 with what just happened. But here we are still doing the work of our founders. And I believe that the message was very clear on why there was a need for Delta Sigma Theta.
Right.
And today, why there is still a need and why hundreds of thousands of women are still becoming members of this great sisterhood because the 22 sent that message.
Yes, hundreds of that. And the sorority, we should stress, it's open to everyone.
Yes.
This was started out of a need, but, you know, it is open to everyone. But let's talk about what's going to happen this weekend before we let you go. It's the 51st National Convention.
Yes.
It really kicks off on the Mall tomorrow.
Yes.
What a sight that's going to be.
It is. It is.
Can you just tell us a little bit about that?
Okay, it's actually starting in the morning with our Delta Foundation. There'll be a run walk that starts very early in the morning.
8 o'clock in the morning.
Yes,
right.
very early in the morning, and that will conclude around midday, and then we'll have what normally is our public meeting where we invite our friends from our sister and brother organizations of the National Panhellenic Council, and they will come and make presentations. We're calling it a community of unity because we realize that our work is all joined together. We all are working for the betterment of our communities, and they will come and make presentations to salute us for our 100 years. Many of them have already reached that mark, and we honor them, and they will come and honor us and celebrate with us. And we have all of the Divine Nine, and including our brothers and sisters of NAACP, the Urban League, the Links. They are all coming to celebrate with us, and that will be our community day of unity. And then we'll leave there, and then we'll go to our Delta Revival. We were founded on Christian principles, so we will then pause to thank God and invite His Holy Spirit to continue to bless us and keep us throughout this great 51st National Convention. And then the ultimate step show that we will celebrate and work with our chapters to see who gets the title and throne this year. And that's the activities just for tomorrow.
Just for tomorrow.
Just
so
for tomorrow.
The rest of, you know, the registration is at capacity.
Yes.
So, right.
Yes.
And, you know, we'll put this interview on our website, and any information, if there are still public events that you can get in on, public for everyone and for the sisterhood if you are not registered. Before we let you go, a local artist named DeMont Pender wanted to present you with this, and it is in honor of the 100th anniversary, the centennial, but then also the 51st National Convention, and that's you in your splendor, sort of an embodiment of the founders here, and then of course the logo with that beautiful
that is
Delta.
gorgeous.
And so that is for you.
Well, thank you.
He finished it this morning, so don't let's let it dry.
Press, yes.
But we just honor you being here, and I thank you so much.
And thank you so much, and thanks to the whole city of Washington D.C. and the
which
area.
is about to be painted.
Yes, red.
All right,
yes.
we'll be right back.
Oh, thanks.